Howdy, folks. Do you ever want to have your own ranch? Hey, Tom Mason here with West USA Realty. Today we're going to talk about buying land in Arizona. There's 7 things you need to know, and then we're going to take a tour of the MLS and see what's available out there for you to buy. If you want your own little piece of property, whether it's to build a ranch as an investment or just a place to escape the heat during the summer. So step 1 in buying land is define your purpose. Why are you buying it? Do you want to build a dream home, have a little ranch, hold it as an investment? Determining what your purpose is will help you figure out the location, zoning requirements, and your budget. Arizona has something for everybody, from urban lots in Phoenix itself or larger acres of land out near Buckeye or Lake Pleasant. Step number 2 is to research the zoning and land regulations and maybe restrictions that may be in the area you're looking. Not all land is created equal, and zoning laws will dictate what you can and cannot do. Some zoning areas may allow for, let's say, tiny homes or off-grid living. Other ones might have strict building requirements. That depends if it's been developed already. We can visit zoning websites. I often call the cities to find out what we can do. Pretty easy to do. You just got to know who to talk to. Step 3, of course, is going to be look for utilities. Does that land have water? Does it have electric? Does it have internet? Is there a sewer system nearby that you may be able to tap into if you're buying raw, vacant land? Something else very important is road access. There are sometimes easements that allow you to traverse other people's land to get to your land, and those can be done by judgment, or it can be done simply with an agreement with the other landowner. But if you're landlocked, if your piece of land is landlocked, you can always ask a judge for an easement through a judgment. Now, in some areas you might need to drill a well for water. You might have to put solar panels up in order to get electricity if it's so far from regular electrical service that there's no way to tap into it or run lines out there. A lot of times, though, as we expand the outer edges of Phoenix, we have landowners where you can run electricity from their land by contacting APS and simply having that electricity run down to you. There may be wells that you can share with others out there. It depends on the gallons of flow per minute as to how many homes could be on a single well. Step number 4 goes hand in hand with all those utilities you're going to need, and that is determine the cost. Not just the title cost, the cost of the land, but also if you have electricity that's run to a community next to you, how much would it cost APS to run that your way? How much does it cost to sink a septic tank on your land? And you have to remember that wherever you're going to build, you have to have your leach field or your septic tank at least 100 feet away from your water source. So you have to have enough space to ensure placement that's safe for you and anyone living on the land itself. Step 5, verify the title. Now, after we make an offer, we will send this to the title company to make sure that they do a review and investigation of the title to make sure that the seller has the right to sell that land and all mineral rights, water rights that may be on that land itself. And for land, unlike homes where you might have 10 days of due diligence to do investigations, for land, standard is 30 days of investigations or due diligence. That'll give you time to get an engineer out there to find out what your costs are going to be as far as drilling a well or putting down a slab for a home or running electricity, and it'll give the title company time to investigate the title. Step 6, always visit the land yourself. You never want to buy land sight unseen. You want to walk the terrain, see if it really fits what you want to do with it, and get a sense of just the surroundings. Is this the place you really want to be? We'll drive out there together, walk it, and if we need to bring an engineer, we can do that as well. Step 7, the last and final step, is sign the paperwork. There'll be a lot of paperwork, particularly if that land has already been partially built up. Let's say there's a well on it, there's already septic, or maybe a slab, there may be a house, or that house might have been torn down. So the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality will require the septic tank be serviced within 6 months prior to the sale. We'll need that paperwork. We want to find the well paperwork. We'll have to register that well in your name. Any engineering studies that you want done or surveys, you can do that as well, and that's right in the contract. It allows you to opt for a survey be done on the area. My job to put all that paperwork together, make sure it's tight and ready for your signature. And once we close, congratulations, you'll be a landowner here in Arizona, and you'll be able to start building your own little ranch or just a getaway from the city and the hustle and the bustle. And I'll show you one of those places as we do a tour of some of the available land in the MLS. So let's take a look at those right now. If we want to do a quick search, open to our templates for land and lots. Let's say we wanted to look for something below $350,000. That's a lot of areas to look at, and you can see the farther out you get, the more clusters you find of this kind at that price range. But let's say we wanted to also look for something that was 5 acres. So if I went from, let's say, 2.5 to 4.99, then we can see that this reduces down just a little bit. And from here I can actually take a look at the list, and it'll show all the pieces of property out there that are available. Let's take a look at this one. This one looks a little bit very inexpensive. So these are 3 parcels of land that are in Concho, Arizona. Well, that might be a little bit far for us. So let's go back and edit this search a little bit, because if I expand this map out, you'll see that it's looking all over the state of Arizona. So what we can do is we can draw a circle from the center of Phoenix, and that's going to take us down from thousands to 140 different listings. So to expand this map a little bit, I clicked on everything from 1 acre all the way up to 9.99 acres at $350,000. Now, something else we want to look for maybe is sewer or septic on the property. If we put in sewer and we put it in on property and you add that field, then you're going to have 22 properties that are available there. If we wanted to add water, so we don't have to drill a well, put it on property, still have 22 parcels that are available there. Now, how many of these are big enough for a ranch? Well, if you want a 1 acre ranch, more likely you're going to find something here. But if I remove 1 acre up to 2.5 acres, you'll see you end up with 2 properties. One way up in Cape Creek, the other one off the 303. And so let's take a look at these quickly that have both sewer and water on the property. So for this one, we see it's 2.5 acres, but it's zoned commercial. So if you want to build a ranch out there, you'd have to get it rezoned. That can become a problem. And if we go to the Cape Creek property, take a look at this one. It's 5 acres. There's zoning for residential, cable on the property, electric on the property, gas, phone, sewer, water, all on the property. Take a look at the map, see where it's located, and we can see there is a wash that runs through it, so some of this property would not be usable. Another thing we can do is we can just pop this into Google Earth and get a better look at it. So we can see this is down, this part of this at least is down in the wash, but you do have other properties in the area, which makes it a little bit easier to tap into if there's sewer available, because these developments have been filled up with sewer, and water available, public water, makes it easy as well. We can get another sort of look at what this property looks like. And see the other properties out there as well. We actually have some properties that look like they're down pretty close to this wash. So people have built here before. Go back to the map, we can zoom out and see how far away you would be from Phoenix itself. So you're really more deep into Carefree. Could be a little bit of a drive if you're living in or working in the center of Phoenix, but if you're working from home or you have a business, you're going to start close to this area. Slightly higher elevation than Phoenix. And I've actually been in Carefree when it snowed. It was actually during a wedding of one of my friends while it was raining in Phoenix. Didn't snow for long though, and it didn't stick around very long either. So if you've never bought land before and you need some help, if you need help looking for it, see what's on there, to negotiate the prices or find out what utilities you may be able to tap into, then certainly consult with an agent. Let them do the searching for you to find some properties that match what you want and move on from there. And remember the 7 steps to buying. Thanks for sticking around this long. If you found this information useful, please like and subscribe. There'll be more information coming weekly on the channel.